Well, hi, classmates. I'm Randall Shepard from HR Management. And before I get going, I just wanted to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. We probably won't see each other again or do a presentation until the beginning of the year. So enjoy your 3 weeks off. And then we just have 3 classes to go. So let's finish strong. But anyway, just enjoy your families and Merry Christmas. My presentation is on employee recognition, retention, and motivation. So first, let's look at recognition. Well, we all know what it feels like to be recognized for a job well done. It just gives you a good heart down in the depths of your soul, good feeling. Um, and financial reward is great, but research shows that it's not equal to recognition. Recognition is more than just constructive feedback. It's more than just positive affirmation. It's a genuine appreciation and acknowledgement of a job well done that's governed by a mutual respect. Now, there are some guidelines that we're going to want to follow if we're giving an employee some recognition. And some of those are, first one would be to do it within the moment. It doesn't have to be right when they accomplish something of value or some extraordinary work accomplishment, but as close to that time as possible. The longer we wait, the less effect it will have. Next would be to do that within context. So, just random affirmations are much less meaningful to an employee than those tied to a business goal. So if an employee gets a new account or something like that, that's where you want to recognize them. So within the context of the business environment. And then also appropriate in volume, or meaning recognition should match their efforts and results. So, not like a $20 gift card if someone just brought aboard a multi-million-dollar account. Just not relevant or in context with the accomplishment that they made. Fourth would be make sure it's authentic, not just something automatic, not like something you're checking off your list. Make sure it's genuine, make sure you mean it. And then also tied to the employee's perception of value. So, don't want to give them like a fishing pole or something along those lines if they're not into fishing, or it's just got to be something that they consider valuable as well. So those are some good guidelines to follow. Now, research shows creating happy employees through recognition is the most effective tool in employee retention. So next we're going to look at retention. Now, retention is enhanced in the work environment by creating a positive work culture. Now, work culture impacts everything from customer service to productivity to profitability. And every company has a culture, whether it's good or bad. Every company has a culture. And it is the key to retention, because employees don't really want to leave a company with a great culture. And we'll speak more about cultures a little bit later. But here are some suggestions, some steps to help for retention or enhancing retention. Conduct stay interviews. We've heard of exit interviews, but conduct stay interviews. Ask employees, hey, how come you're staying with the company? Kind of get their feedback. And then promote from within when possible. That shows a lot of value. It makes employees feel like they're part of a team and that they're special. You're not bringing somebody from the outside in when somebody else might be qualified within the company. It goes a long way. Also, create and foster employee development. People want to learn and enhance their values and their training and to enhance their career. Create open communication. Always leave those lines of communication open. I think when people are left with their thoughts and they just have presumption and strife and have a tendency to just think of the negative. So if we're always keeping those open lines of communication, that just helps alleviate that problem. And then communicate your business mission with them too. Let them know what's going on. Get their feedback. Make them feel part of the company and what's going on. And then also offer financial rewards. Those are always enticing for retention. and then make sure employees know what's expected of them. It's nothing worse than just feeling like you're floundering around all day, that you're directionless. So make sure that they know what's expected of them. Then next is motivation, and it kind of ties into retention and recognition. A lot of the things that create better retention and recognition are the same for motivation. But all three are determined by the culture of the organization, as I stated earlier. Now, employees, they are the organization's greatest resource, and especially for growth. Employee well-being exponentially multiplies workforce potential. Employees are more energized, they perform at their peak, they're more optimistic, they're more creative, and resilient. Now, well-being and a positive work culture thrive in a supportive organization. But the problem is employers, they kind of get tunnel vision, and they tend to look at things just related to the work environment. So employees were asked, they did a study, and employees were asked, where work falls within their priorities. And it rated number 5, and that was behind, number 1 was parenting, and number 2 was your relationship with your spouse. Number 3 was friends and friendships, and the 4th one was your religious beliefs and following your religious beliefs. So number 5 was work. So what we want to do to try to cultivate this culture of well-being, or when we do cultivate a culture of well-being, it equates to 89% stating that they have job satisfaction. And if there's not like a high level of well-being and a positive culture, then it's only at 20% will say they have job satisfaction. So each company has to conduct its own evaluation. So first, let's define well-being, just so you kind of have an idea of what that is. It's the sum total of things that make people feel grounded and capable of successfully managing life. So not just work, but life. So that would include family, community, work, finances, and their physical and mental health. So why should employers care about employee life and work outside or life outside of work? Studies have found employees with high levels of well-being are more energetic, optimistic, perform better in every area, including engagement and productivity. And they also have fewer health issues and complaints and fewer missed work days. So in the long run, the company saves expenses by investing in the employees and creating this positive work culture. So these examples can be seen in our text with companies like Google. We read about Google and Zappos and Genentech. Intel is another company. They have a 2% turnover rate. So these are all companies we can get statistical information and learn from. Google, they get up to 7,000 applications a day for a job opening. So these companies offer incredible perks. We saw some of them, such as like flexible work schedules, working at home, on-site nurses, childcare, dry cleaning, pet insurance. It's ridiculous. And free meals, including take-home meals. So what they do, they try to just fulfill all the needs an employee might have off work and at the job. So how do we create this type of magnetic culture if we don't have the resources, of Google's and these other companies? Well, the secret is it's not in these perks. That's not what creates a culture. And it's not in dictating from the top down. But it's by concentrating on the employee's happiness. So perks grow from a culture, and it's not the other way around. Perks are a manifestation of what makes your employees happy. Managers can't dictate a great culture. They can only lay the groundwork for it to take hold. Employees are the ones that really control the culture. When they are happy, it thrives. And when they are disgruntled and complaining, the culture probably stinks. So no matter how good your mission statement is, no matter how good your free dry cleaning is, they're still going to be unhappy. So all the perks in the world, if the culture's bad at work, they are not going to make the employees happy. So here are some stats about happy employees. Just some other stats, but they stay twice as long. They're 2 times more likely to believe that they're reaching their potential. They spend 65% of the time feeling energized. They're 58% more likely to go out of their way to help a fellow employee. They identify 98% more strongly with the values of your organization. And they're 186% more likely to recommend the company to friends. So concentrating your efforts on making employees happy is the most direct and powerful way to impact your organization's culture. So in conclusion, most of what I presented correlates with what I feel is just the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So we are all relational creatures. We're surrounded by people every day we have to relate to. I thought it was interesting, this week's forum post was on servant leadership. And I feel that is the key to success and will fulfill all of these suggestions that the research supports. And Christ, he left us a great example to follow that values people and shows compassion for the hardships and situations we all deal with on a daily basis. So to be an effective servant leader and to create a positive work culture that focuses on the well-being of others requires self-sacrifice and a genuine care for others. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a few weeks.